They're working with my energy, and they're, oh, thank you. And they're really pleased to see you all here, and who will hear this information as we go forth, they just said. I love that. So I often mention I've got Zachariah that steps forward. Zachariah was one of my teachers going back. I realized this not so long ago. So Zachariah taught me, I mean, not in this lifetime as Anne, but as we go back many hundreds of years. And then I was told recently during a meditation, a deep meditation, that Zachariah stepped forward with me because they had been with me once before and they wish to step forward with the information now. So Zachariah steps forward, but there are other guides with Zachariah as well. So these are, okay, thank you. They just said these are beings that they have lived here. So they're ascended masters, masters that have taught and have gained the wisdom. They have been here a very long time. So they have been here way before you humans, as you particular humans listening to this, but they've been here, and thank you, that was their mission, their purpose is to keep stepping forward in time. So those who needed or seeked out advice or help, they are here to teach you. This is like, they said, it's like the basics to teach you, to help you to move forward. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. And the Ascended Masters, there are many on the other side that are with them. I have Light Council, have a number that sort of step forward, but Zachariah always steps forward to sort of give me the sort of helping hand and being the channeler, to be the voice box, as they just said. Thank you. And I've been doing some automatic writing this evening for about the last couple of hours, and just allowing the channeled information to come forward. And this is what they have to say. Well, we'll get to that in a moment, because they just said they want to pull the cards. So I've just pulled some cards, and they are just a tool. So when you're on your journey of self-discovery, when you're on a journey of moving forward on this journey, as in you're starting to open up, you're starting to be aware of there is more to life than what you see. You're becoming aware that you're receiving signs. You may not know exactly what those signs mean at this initial moment in time. It might be you receiving double digits or feathers, or when you're thinking of something, it's manifesting in front of you. You may be starting to be more aware of that now. You're really opening, thinking. They said, when you hear of the collective consciousness, it just means the collective, as in the individuals that are opening up on your planet at this time, meaning those who are interested that there is something more that you may not be aware of at this particular time, but you are inquisitive and you are learning. Consciousness, meaning you are becoming more aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and you're becoming aware of what does not suit you, or does not feel right for you, or does not serve you. So the collective, the consciousness is waking up. So there's more and more people. So more and more of you are going to feel more uncomfortable with individuals that do not think or feel the similar way to the way that you do. Now, it doesn't matter whether they are family, friends, partners, makes no difference. You're going to feel into their energy, and you'll feel if it's the right thing for you. Okay, thank you. They always give me this example. When you walk into a room, when you're an empath, you will pick up on the feeling within the room. Your intuition will nudge you if something doesn't feel right, and your whole body will be like, yeah, I've got to get out of here. Now, it's very similar to what's happening on the planet right now. You have to see the planet as being the room. Read the room. It's about, does the room feel as if it feels hostile, or does it feel friendly? Who are you connecting to? Okay, thank you. They say science does not always hold the answer. And a lot of you who are science driven have started to see that more and more. More and more people who are being diagnosed with cancers and other ailments and other illnesses, they are helping to heal themselves to some degree. I'm not medically trained. I'm just hearing that from my guides. It depends where your mind is at. Your mind was brought to you as a tool, and the tool to help you to navigate through life on this planet. But your mind can sometimes hold you back, because it can restrict you from all the beliefs that you have built up in your head, thank you, and what you have learned from your past and your background. When you begin to wake up, meaning when you start to shift, like if you start to become aware that life isn't what you thought it was, it can feel disturbing, unsettling, and can create some chaos in your life, because all the beliefs that you've been brought up with, whether it's through religion or experience or information, suddenly begins to change. And it might be that those you've met in your life at certain particular times, that might be partners or friendships or whoever, they begin to change too, because you are changing. Now, it doesn't mean you have to say goodbye to these individuals. It just means that you have that relationship with those particular people, but you also need something to come back home to yourself and meet other like-minded people. Because the more that you go into this field, as in exploring the endless possibilities of the universe, you're going to realize that you need to be in contact and connected to others. So you can bounce those ideas off people and say, I had something really strange happen to me. This is what I was thinking, and this is what happened next. It's so that you can explore it and have your space held for you. Otherwise, it can feel quite lonely and frustrating. So that's what they're just saying to me. So it's just giving me that information now. Okay, thank you. So okay, thank you. When I begin in a minute, they're talking about how human beings are doing too much. They are human doings at the moment. There's too many of them doing human doings and not human beings. That's why you've been given the name human beings, being in the moment. But many of you are doing, as in you think you have to keep doing things all the time. So it's time just to be in the moment, to do the beings. They're explained. But I pulled the cards and I just laughed because as I was shuffling the cards, 2 cards jumped out, and you've got this pack here, the John Holland pack, and it's messages from spirit. So it says, take a moment. And I laugh because it's very much what they've been saying to me the weekend and today when I was channeling. It says, stop. Now is not the time to rush into decisions you're about to make. Before this important decision is made, take a moment to pause and quiet your mind so that you can ask your soul guidance before you act or before you move forward. And the automatic writing that I was doing today, I literally was hearing the same information, which I'll go into in a moment with them. Okay. And then we have the Koti spirit. So here we go. And it says, trust in the divine detours. Sometimes humans become so fixated on thinking where they're going to head to, like heading to in the sense of that career, that job, that partnership, that house, that home. I don't know, all the things that the humans get caught up in, thinking they've got to do this, they've got to do that. And then when you do that, you become very blinkered. So that when your intuition, your higher self, your soul is trying to guide you in your journey, you end up having this friction and your mind saying one thing, and then your natural intuition is trying to say, no, we need to go down that avenue. No, we need to go get that job. Or no, we need to do this. Okay, thank you. And they just said it's in those moments of child's play when you're having fun, that's when you're going to be at the most, when you're going to be connected to your higher self and tuning in more to what it is that you're meant to be doing when you're here. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's have a little look. They said, move over, Anne, now we're coming in. I'm like, okay, fine. Let's have a little look. Life was much more simpler before. Now there's more chaos in your world. There are more gadgets to distract you more on your planet and take you from your journey. Most of you fill your time up endlessly with these gadgets and looking on your phone or your computer. But most of you are not in the moment anymore. You are rushing. We are feeling the energy on your planet right now. There is too many faults that you are blocking up the airwaves with your faults. And most of them are chaotic and from a crisis place. There is this fear, the fear from the basic things. We are not talking about paying your bills, but we are talking about feeling a little bit lost, not knowing where you are, and feeling that you in the right relationship, feeling where you should be living, feeling if you're in the right job, many thoughts. There are hardly, not many of you are being in that creative or mindful state. The weekend we showed Anne to sit her under a tree. She sat under the tree and tuned into the roots of the tree, and we told her to be still. Again, she also was doing the human doing instead of being the human, and she was not in the moment and hardly knew where she was sitting or understanding the beauty of nature. So we asked her, please just to be still for a moment. We asked her to connect to her environment and choose to hear, to breathe, to smell, to be in the present time. By being in the present time, she understood that how she was feeling, her heart rate calmed down, her thought process calmed down, and her inner energy, which would be also oozing out of her, would attract some different type of energy. When she opened her eyes from that breath work that we were sitting with her and asking her to breathe and to be in the moment, feeling her body resting against the tree and feeling her legs on the ground, cross-legged, and feeling that she was there and feeling the breeze and feeling the sunshine, she came back into her heart center and she was then being. She was not doing as such. She was being in the present moment. She was feeling into her senses. And that's where is a good place to be, in your senses, to feel, to be in the present moment. This then stops the chaos of the mind, and this helps you then to manifest from a greater point. Now, when she sat there and then opened her eyes, there she became aware there was this goose standing on one leg, and it was just preening its feathers and just cleaning itself. We asked her to take a look and she said, but why? And we asked her to take a look and she trusted and she took a look. She then tuned into the goose and all she heard was that the goose was just preening its feathers, not worrying about food, but just preening its feathers, not worrying where it should be next, where should it go, but just concentrating on preening its feathers. And then she asked, but why? And we said, when you focused on just being in the present moment, your heart, your mind begins to slow down the pace, and it's like a form of meditation. And it creates that balance and that neutral shift. Now, the reason why we are sharing this is because we are aware that many on your planet right now are too busy doing, rushing around and not connecting to your feet. Many of you are in a rush, always thinking in your mind you should be somewhere else or thinking you should be doing something else. So we are suggesting to come back to yourself. When you brush your teeth, focus on your teeth. Now, it's easy to slip into thinking about something else when you're brushing your teeth because it can be boring, we know. But if you change your hand over and use the opposite hand to brush your teeth, you then have to focus more on using your opposite hand to brush your teeth. And then your concentration and being is on the brush and your teeth. So this is a good exercise to begin with, to try for at least 1 week. We know many of you will struggle, but we wish for you to try to be mindful of just brushing your teeth with the opposite hand and to focus on just brushing your teeth. Many of you will think, but why? First, we wish you to do this so that you can see you just concentrate on brushing your teeth. Just like when you were a child, you had to concentrate your energy and focus on that moment. So we wish to bring you back to that moment. We are laughing because we already see some of you in your future selves in the next couple of days where the toothpaste will be around your mouth. Some of you will have the brush that will brush against the outside of your face, and we are smiling because it's not as easy as you think. So we are aware of your future self, and we are aware of your future, where you are going to be. And many of you will give up, and many of you will continue to move forward on this journey. You will have those moments that will be more difficult than other times. They will be the moments of frustration. And those will be the times where it is to sit with yourself and to be in the being moment. You have been given these senses that you have just so that you then are aware of the present moment. We mean the smell, the hearing, the taste. So it brings you into the present moment. Many of your thoughts are casting your mind like the fishing net too far forward into the what ifs. When you do this, you're sending too much energy out, and you can be wasting your energy on that breath of thinking what if. Now, we're aware many of you hear this and think, what about if we are trying to manifest? And again, this is not how manifestation works. It is about your senses in where you are at in your journey and raising your awareness of your own energy. Trust us when we say just the toothbrushing exercise is a good place to start. And many of you will begin to see the differences when you become more mindful. Even when some of you are eating food, it is to be mindful of what you are eating, because your mind is listening to your thoughts before you begin that process of eating that food, and how you treat your body and what you think this food will give you. Now, we are not saying not to have treats. We are saying there needs to be a balance, but working while you are eating, or eating and walking or rushing from A to B with that sandwich or whatever food it is in your mouth, you are not allowing your body to digest the food properly. Your body, your mind is processing everything as a whole. You are not separate. So it is to be mindful of the food you are eating and how you are eating it. And some of you may think that, oh, I shouldn't be eating this, how terrible I am, or you have the feeling afterwards. Again, it's like you put your body into shame. So we are suggesting to be loving to your body, to be loving to your inner soul, to be loving to yourself. We would say it's a simple technique, but we know some of you will find it harder than others. But the way that you even think or speak to the food or see the food, already your digestive tract, your body, will only digest it in a certain way. You will receive more nutrients from your food if you just take your time and you focus on what you are eating. And some of you will be aware that if you have loved ones and you make food for them, how much love and care you put into it. So it's the same as then giving this care to yourself and to providing that space for you. Now, there is something else we wish to share. Your world and how it interacts with others, from how the world perceives you, is also something that will affect your energy. When someone feels or thinks of how you are as an individual, even the contact with them will also affect your energy field. Now, let us make this clearer. An individual that comes up to you that does not know you will have already perceived ideas of who they might think you are, or what you do, or judging on your planet. Very much of you are looking at those professional jobs and judging and seeing you from the external clothes you wear and making judgment, way hair's worn, shoes you wear, makes of clothing. And people on your planet, when they interact with you, will judge you. We are aware of this because we feel the feelings that are produced around you, the energy of their thoughts, and some of you will pick up on the energy of their thoughts, and you may interact with them in a certain way. And some of you may walk away afterwards and think, why did I feel this way? Why was I rude to them? Or what was it that I said? Or it's because of everyone on your planet is sending out energy frequencies. So imagine like a radio, and you're tuning in to a particular station, a song, a presenter, a host. You are all doing the same thing. You are tuning into each other's energy. So if some people are feeling down or depressed, you are most likely going to be picking up that too. If you are living in a family environment and there is a family member who is feeling down or depressed or not their usual self, you are most likely going to sense that in your home. Now, we are not saying to avoid these individual people. It's just so that you are aware through your senses that this is how it is affecting you. And as the empath, for many of you listening to this, will be aware of how it affects your energy. It will affect how you are feeling internally. And sometimes there are no words for it, but it's to make you aware. It may not be that you are feeling down. It may be the individuals around you who are feeling down. So it's aware of, again, being mindful and being aware of your senses and your feelings. Even if you walked into the supermarket, walking past certain individuals, or if you, this is a good exercise. We wish for you to try this. Some of you may feel quite odd doing this, but have a go, or maybe have a friend with you if you feel that you might feel odd. Or you could just close your eyes for a second when you're there. So we want you to become more in tune with your food and your environment. So we suggest you go to that supermarket or that shop and you stand with your eyes closed, and we want you to imagine how you are tuning in to receive information from certain foods. So stand in front of the food aisle with the vegetables and tuning in, and you can say to yourself, what is it I'm feeling back? Certain fruits, the greens, the oranges. You can look at some of the fruit and vegetables and see what you pick up from them. Some of you will not be brave enough, and you can do this at home by placing vegetables in your hand and feel into the vegetables and see what you pick up and what you feel from them. There is a different vibe, a different energy, a different frequency that these individuals are sending you because they are grown within the sunshine and they are outside, majority of them, and they're receiving nutrients to some degree. You will get happier fruit and vegetables from some different sections. And some fruits and vegetables may not give you all the nutrients that you thought, but this is just an exercise. And then we ask you to go to the packet section, the pastas, the rice. Go to that section and see the cereals and tune into what you are feeling. Everything has a frequency and a vibration. And start to look at how you can move around within the shop to see what it is you're picking up. Now, go down the aerosol where you would have the deodorants and the sprays and close your eyes. You can do this by picking up, say, a can of hairspray or gel or whatever it is, and tune in. Just stand there with it in your hand and say, I just wish to connect. You don't have to say it out loud because we know many of you will not do this, but tune into the item and to see how your body feels. Now, for those who do not feel anything, this is okay too. This is practice, but we wish you to be more mindful Even if you walk down the aisle of the supermarket where there is the soap suds, the washing detergents, where your clothes, your items that you wash your clothes in, just get a feel of how your body feels. Now, many of you who have not done this before, you just walk about your business and you go into the supermarket, and you may be in your mind as in thinking what's on your shopping list, or you are hungry and think what you need to buy, and you may not even be observant or aware of this. And then we wish you to try this also. When you're in the supermarket, pick up on a certain individual, have a little look, feel into their energy, or just looking, and just get what from them that you think you pick up from them. Just walk about your business, and some of you will begin to see that the energy of individuals, when you are moving around the supermarket, that they could end up standing behind you in the supermarket because of their energy bubble, their energy field, their energy aura, that you end up being very similar and close, like molecules gathering together. It's interesting. It's a little game that the universe will play with you if you interact with it. So it is to be aware of your surroundings when you go out, to be aware. The animals are aware of this. The animals pick up on this information, but many of you don't, because animals don't have to think about paying bills or what they should be doing next. It's that they are being in the moment. So this is more about, we are saying, to be in the moment. Now, why, you ask? Because by being in the moment, you become more aware of your intuition. You become more aware of yourself. You then become aware of when your guides or spiritual team members are trying to get your attention. Your higher self is trying to reach out to you. Your higher self uses and works with your guides and sends forth the direction in which maybe you should be heading in. When you follow your intuition, your heart center, your guides will direct you, will give you that information, and you may feel it's that intuitive nudge that you feel, but that will be your guides and your higher self reaching out to you to give you the guidance. And that's what's happening on your planet right now, because your mind is shifting. Your mind is becoming open to the fact that how life has been for you now is about the change. It's about not feeling that you fit in, feeling that you could be the observer, feeling that you feel slightly different. That's because you are becoming more aware of there is differences between individuals. Not all of you, when you go to school, they pack you into a school. You are supposed to fit in with everyone. You're supposed to all learn in the same way. This is utter nonsense. Not everyone will learn the same way. Not every child will perform the same way. There may be a child that needs to sit at the back of the class, one at the front of the class, one to the side of the class. Maybe that child needs to be doing things as in practical instead of just writing or listening. And so your society, some of you may not fit in with how they wish to teach you. It is not you, it is that they have not accommodated for all the different needs on your planet with the teaching of the children. And the same with the jobs, and the same with the food, and the same with everything that you have in your structure. So those who are now becoming more aware, who are questioning things, you are the ones that will be making the changes in your society. You are the ones that will be changing your thought processes, thinking differently, and it then will go on to create the energy around others so that there is a change. So many of you at this time may be feeling exhausted and tired, or headachy, or feeling sick, or not feeling yourself, or feeling down, because you are picking up on other people's energy who are not vibrating on the same frequency. Very similar to playing the tune on the piano. There are going to be others that will not be playing the same tune on the piano. at this time. So it will feel like a discord, or almost like scratching the nails down the blackboard, and you will feel the scratching and the irritation from hearing the nails scraping and moving. So there'll be many of you that will feel uncomfortable with others. Now, also, we are aware to say this, that this tiredness that's sweeping your planet is because there's a lot of information that is coming forward, and many of you are starting to begin to change. And so you are receiving new information, and just like the child, you will need sleep so that you can process the information that you are experiencing right now. And that is why we are saying that many of you are doing instead of being as the human being in the moment, instead of, you're not called the human doers, you're called the human beings. So it is for you to be there in that particular situation, to feel into the moment. So we have given you some ideas of some exercises to try to be in the being instead of the doing, and we wish to see the difference in yourselves and feeling the energy around you. We are here. We will answer and assist as many questions as we can, as we look forward to assisting your planet at this time. We have learnt much from the time we have been on the planet, and we wish to step forward to assist the planet as it continues to grow and to expand. We are fully aware of this time, that this time was set in stone to some degree, that your planet would have many of you beginning to ask questions and want to understand why it is at this particular time that you are feeling the way you are feeling. So that is why we step forward at this particular time to be part of your assistance. Oh dear. Okay.